Alright. Long-running Street Fighter comic book series debuts in North America. Alright, so I'm born in 2000. I'm like 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old actually, because my birthday is at the end of the year. Long-running Street Fighter comic book series debuts in North America. I don't think my dad ever knew about that. He never got into comic books. He was, however, into a lot of gaming magazines. He liked Game Pro, Electronic Gaming Monthly, and all that stuff. Back before Game Informer was popular. Hyper Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition is released. Ooh, I've heard about this one. Yeah. Yes, I do remember. It was its own game. Like, you would pick the character and then you would choose, like, okay, from which game do you want to play this character? Like Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, or something like that. Yeah, I remember that. Street Fighter Anniversary Collection is released. Combines Hyper Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike into one package on home consoles. I never had this, but I do know of its existence, so that was pretty cool. But I never had Street Fighter 3 Third Strike until like I discovered my dad's old Dreamcast, and it still worked, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike was one of those games. Capcom Fighting Evolution is released. That is a terrible game. That's a pretty bad game. And it did not receive a lot of sales. Street Fighter Alpha Generations, an animated film, is released. Though it was made in Japan, it was designed for the Western market. Wait. Oh, it's Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. Oh, that's the PSP one. But Street Fighter 3 Upper is, what is Upper then? Upper is it for Game Boy? Did Alpha 3 even get on Game Boy? Not sure. I'll have to check. I'll check right now. Oh shit. Hang on. Google, please, Google. Hang on. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper. It was Game Boy Advance, I know it. It was also for PS1, I didn't know that. Cool. Alpha Anthology! Alpha Anthology! Look! Released for home consoles, features. Oh yeah, there was Alpha 1, 2, and then 2 Gold, so you get different Alpha 2s, which is awesome. Plus a remixed version of Alpha 2 Gold, as well as Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix. Yeah, that was a weird game, Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix. Really weird. Oh, let's look at the art. Yeah. Oh, this was how it was for Japan. Amazing. This was insane. Remember this being an insane game. I loved it. I love the artwork as well. I love the artwork. Dan. And there's Charlie. That's Birdie. Fiddle and Balrog. Vega, Cody, Blanca, and Bison. Still don't know your name. I'm sorry. I played you before. Why don't I know your name? Let me see. T-Hawk. Oh yes, T-Hawk. I remember T-Hawk. That's Rolento and Guile, Jen, and Honda and DJ. So by this time, you know, I also experienced Capcom versus SNK 2 for my uncle's Xbox. I lost that copy. I actually lost that copy and I hated it. But obviously, I did have. My dad has always had Alpha Anthology for Street Fighter, but my first exposure to the Street Fighter franchise was basically the crossover game, Capcom versus SNK 2, which is I fell in love immediately. It was just like, whoa, look at all this. My uncle had it so that to make it easier for me, since I didn't know how to play the game or how to do inputs, he made the right analog stick like shortcuts for special moves like Hadoken, Tatsumaki Senpukyek, Shogen, or Shoryuken, sorry. I'm too used to Sakura. Yeah, so I played as Sakura a lot, bro. And it's insane. I love that game so much. It was like, and that was the only time I've ever played it. In fact, it wouldn't be until today where I finally get my own copy of CVS2 for the PS2, which is highly valued at like $120. But I got it for like 70% off at an authentic retro video game store. And you know, my guy Angel, shout out to him. Like he's really the man. He also sold me an extra DualShock 2 for my because I had a broken one and stuff like that, so it was really helpful for him to do that. He also recommended me like a Street Fighter collection. He also I also lost my copy of Alpha Anthology, and he said that, you know, he'll like get to me right away if that comes in again. Oh man, it's nice reliving the good days. But it's 2007. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix is released, and yeah. Yeah, I already mentioned this before. I had that for PS3, and I would play the hell out of it. I play the hell out of that shit. It was amazing, dude. Like, it was what I remember from my childhood, but even better. Like, just even better. And it was just amazing. Too bad my PS3 died. Have a lot of memories there. Oh boy. So here's the situation. Capcom is like the fighting game genre over the years is starting to diminish just a little bit, but up until 2008, there was just a slight decline in the fighting game genre, especially when it came to Capcom, because not much was going on. Of course, you have Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max, Street Fighter Alpha Anthology, but those are like just collections. Those are just re-releases of past games. Re-releases of past games, and that's basically what got them going and stuff like that. Of course, you'd have like Resident Evil or Mega Man and a bunch of other awesome games. Darkstalkers, but Darkstalkers wasn't that popular, but a lot of awesome Capcom games. But in the fighting genre, it was declining. That was until 2008. Oh boy. My dad and I were pretty excited that year. Well, not 2008, more like 2009, because that's when it was like released on PS3. Yep, that's what it says there. But in 2008, another revolution occurred. Street Fighter 4 released in arcades. Of course, you have the HD remix of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That did it really well. That did really great as well. But Street Fighter 4 was amazing. It sparked so much excitement in the fighting game community. People were going back to people were going to arcades again, you know, they were fighting, people were competing again, you know, tournaments were now new because of this new game. And wow. This Street Fighter 4, this is basically most of what I played as a child. Obviously, you have Alpha Anthology, SNK, CVS2, but here's the thing. One, I just said I lost a copy. I lost my childhood copy of Alpha Anthology. Two, I lost my my uncle lost his copy of CVS2, so there was nothing there. So all we really had was Street Fighter 3 Third Strike for the Dreamcast. We had on my PSP I had Alpha 3 Max, but I didn't know I wouldn't play it that much. And also, what was the other one? There was one more. It wasn't the Street Fighter 2 games, because my dad didn't have a Super Nintendo anymore. It was... fuck, what was it? I think that was it. It'll come back to me later. Oh, Puzzle Fighter. But it wasn't really a fighting game, but that's most of my exposure to Street Fighter. But then you have Street Fighter 4, and that is the game I've played. That is the Street Fighter game I've played the most. The most. And it was insane for me. Really insane. You have so many new characters. There's El Fuerte. There's Sea Viper. Sea Viper was even in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Which I didn't know why, but it was like, wow, must be a good character. There's also some hidden characters that they don't show and stuff like that. Now, known fact, you know, some of you guys may know Oni from Ultra Street Fighter 4. Oni was actually playable in Street Fighter 4. It was either Street Fighter 4 or Super Street Fighter 4 in the arcade machines, and it was exposed that way. And in the internet, people were showing how to do that, and they were met with insane copyright strikes from Capcom because it wasn't meant to like be exposed out to the world and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool, neat. Let's look at this. Oh, there's no, thing. There is no, art. Sad. But 2009, when it came out for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, we got it for PS3, and my dad and I watched the intro for the first time. The song Indestructible was playing. I was just like, oh crap, like look at this, this is like a beautiful game, it looks so realistic. Yeah, but I was really bad at the game, very, very bad at the game, because I didn't know, dude, it had been such a long time since I played Street Fighter. I'm like, how the fuck do you do a Shoryuken? I didn't even know how to do a Shoryuken. It wasn't until, I guess, let's say maybe 2018 or 2019. That was when I started actually, that was when I bought the 30th anniversary collection, which is what you're looking at right now, and actually, like, tried to learn the game, you know. That's when I try to learn, okay, how the fuck do you do a Shoryuken? Like, I see the input and it says Z, and I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? I'm trying to do the Z, but it's not working. And then I realized it's like a forward and then Hadouken motion. And that's what I've been doing ever since then. And now, if you see my videos, you look at me now, and it's like I'm okay. I'm pretty decent. I'm pretty decent on a casual level, and I think I'm satisfied where I am in terms of skill level for Street Fighter. Yeah, Street Fighter 4. My dad and I really bonded over that game. We would play all the time. We would play for hours. Street Fighter 4 debuts for mobile devices. I didn't know that. Okay. Now this is where shit gets crazy. Super Street Fighter 4. When I got Super Street Fighter 4 from my uncle, and I saw the character roster, I'm like, who are these people? Who the hell are these people? And then I look a little closer and I realize, wait, this is from like Street Fighter 3. I know Sakura, and then all that stuff. I know that lady's from Alpha. I think I'm talking about, yeah, Rose. It's like, I know that lady, she's from Street Fighter Alpha. And I'm just like, whoa. And I see, and then Arcade Edition. I never got Arcade Edition though. I actually am not sure if that's good or not, or how it compares to, Ultra Street Fighter 4. I would have to look into that. But it was kind of cool. I did look at posters and covers, and this was the main gist of what I saw. You know, like, you see one side and then you see the other side, and it's like complete polar opposites, which is so weird. It's so weird. I think it's so cool. You got Yin and Yang, then you got Ryu and Akuma, then you got Oni, I think that's Oni, yeah, you got Oni and Evil Ryu, and then in the middle it's just M. Bison, like the main maniac behind it all. There was also Seth. I don't know why Seth is on this. I wish Seth was in the middle instead of M. Bison, but it does make sense because he's like the main villain. He's like the main guy, the OG villain. 3D edition, that's for the 3DS. I never played it. I never owned a 3DS, so I wouldn't know how to critique it. For Full Battle Protocol, what is this? Oh, true online play for mobile devices. Ooh, that's what it looked like. Cool. Must have been really bad though. Must have been low quality. At that time, at least. Ah, yes, online debut, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition. I haven't heard of this until, like, recent years. But yeah, it had an online edition, and there were combo trials and parry trials and whatnot. And one of the final parry moves, one of the final parry trials you had to do was Evo Moment 37. Evo Moment 37. Wow. Street Fighter 4 HD. Yep. Mobile devices. I had no idea for this. Here's a known fact. If you go back to 2007, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, there was actually another port back in the day. It was in the early 2000s or late 90s. It was Puzzle Fighter 2 X for matching service. That was only a Japanese release for the Sega Dreamcast, but until Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo HD came out, I believe that 2X for matching service was the best version in my opinion, because the music was the same as the arcade version, except it didn't like speed up if there was like if you were close to losing or something, because that's what I didn't like. Like in the arcade version, the game music would speed up, and I hated that. So then I liked how it stayed consistent with the music, the tempo, and it was the arcade music, which was, I believe, the best quality music in the best version. Also, there were different ways you could play. You could play I think like X version, Y version, W version, I don't know, something like that. No, X version, Y version, Z version. I'm not sure. I know the X version is like normal play, except you press up to like automatically go down to put your piece down and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Forgot to mention that. Alright, let's go to 2012. Oh, we already did that. 2014. Ultra Street Fighter 4. I never owned Ultra Street Fighter 4 until last year when I finally got it on PS4. And yeah, I love it so much. It does a lot of things that that's way beyond Super Street Fighter 4 and possibly Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. It has like different versions of characters that you want to play as, and stuff like that. It has combo trials for Super Street Fighter 4 versions and Ultra Street Fighter 4 version combo trials. I'm not much of the mobile device kind of person, so yeah. Street Fighter 5. I did not get Street Fighter 5 in 2016, but I did get the, what is it, the Definitive Edition? I think it's the Champion Edition? Yeah, I believe it's called the Champion version of it. I got it last year, and I started off playing as, this was my attempt at getting back into Street Fighter. You know, like, I'm actually gonna sit down and actually try to play Street Fighter and get good. And that was when I also got back into 30th Anniversary Edition, after not playing it for a while. Yeah, it was me literally practicing and actually me wanting to, like, get better, get at a comfortable level as to where I would feel good, you know, about my skill level and stuff like that. I've always wanted to be somewhat decent at Street Fighter, and I can honestly say that I've gotten to that point where I am decent and I am good. I don't want to be good to the point where like I win tournaments or I'm a tournament player, but just good to play casually. And I'm so happy that I am at that skill level. Street Fighter 5 did not do good though. Street Fighter, the beta version was actually, to most people, a lot better than the actual release of it. Most of Street Fighter 5 is online play and just ranks and stuff like that, which is okay. For Street Fighter 5, it was okay for people who just wanted to play online. But it lacked so much offline features that old Street Fighter game had, like dramatic battles. It lacked survival mode or arcade mode. There wasn't an arcade mode. In fact, the story mode, you had to download it online. You had to download story mode online, which was insane. Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers, is released. Yes, wow. I never thought Street Fighter 2 would get so many versions, but hey, it's the one that started it all, wasn't it? And when Street Fighter 5 Champion, I think it was Champion Edition, when the definitive version came out, that was when like all the arcade mode was there. Combo trials, I guess. Story mode, survival mode. There was more variety for offline play, and they finally got it right. But I wish they had it right in 2016 when Street Fighter 5 Vanilla came out. It's kind of like how here Street Fighter 4, its vanilla version was good. It was good, you know, for a vanilla game. It had offline variety. It also had online play and stuff like that. But if you compare Street Fighter 5 to Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5 did not have a good start. Its beginning was not as good as Street Fighter 4. But obviously gradually it got a little bit better, and I like Street Fighter 5. I like it. Yeah, I think it's very beginner friendly as well. Very beginner friendly, which is I think it was how I got so good. And finally, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection is released. I got that version. I bought it, and that's how I started learning how to do a Shoryuken and stuff like that. And that's when I stopped. And then finally, Street Fighter 5. I got Street Fighter 5 Champion, and I loved it. Every learning experience, I tried playing online and I got my ass whipped, but I needed to get my ass whipped so I could learn. And I think I've learned. I've learned a lot. I am only a Shoto player, so expect me to pick Ryu, Ken, Sakura, Dan, Akuma, all those characters. But more so Ryu and Sakura. I tried being a Ken player, but I didn't like it very much. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching and listening to, I guess, my history on Street Fighter, and majority of my dad's history for Street Fighter. But if it weren't for my dad and my uncle, I probably wouldn't be into fighting games at all. So I give them credit for that. So thank you guys for watching. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe.